arthritis exercise at the Hollywood Senior Center. I'm very happy that you're joining us today. I've put a program together for you, which starts with a short warm-up. Then we're going to go through an exercise sequence starting at the top of our head, going down to our toes, taking our joints through their range of motion, and working on our flexibility and our strength. We're then going to do a few balance exercises. We have some strength training exercises, and we're going to end with a relaxation meditation session. So a few things I'd like you to have with you before we get started. One is your chair. Most of our exercises are going to be done seated. You'll want to make sure you have a stable chair. So you want one that's not going to collapse as you stand up or sit down. You also want to make sure you have a chair that isn't on rollers. A lot of office chairs are on rollers. You want one that's not going to be on rollers. And in addition to the chair, you are going to want to have either some light hand weights or some water bottles that you can use for our weight training exercises. Some people have soup cans for this, but I find that for people who have arthritis in their hands, it's much easier to grasp weights or water bottles. And the other thing you're going to want to have by your side is a water bottle so you can keep yourself hydrated as you exercise. So if you don't have these things handy, you might want to pause the video, go and get what you need, and come back. A few guidelines about the exercises that we're doing. You want to make sure that you're breathing through all these exercises. Don't hold your breath. Also, you never want to be in pain. So if a certain exercise is painful for you, don't do it. If the range of motion puts you in a painful situation, don't do it. Just go to the area where you are comfortable. And by all means, if your doctor has told you not to do a certain movement and it comes up in this exercise, please don't do it. So we're going to start by thinking about our posture. I encourage you to spend some time during the exercise session seated away from the back of your chair so that you have to engage your core muscles to sit nice and tall. And we want to sit nice and tall with our shoulders down and back, our chest open. You might want to pretend that you have a silk string attached from the center of your head, of the crown of your head to the ceiling, suspending you from the ceiling and gently elongating your spine. If it is too tiring to sit away from the back of your chair for the whole session, just move back and forth. Maybe you'll do some exercises seated back against your chair, and then you'll move forward again. We're going to start with some deep breathing. So place one hand on your belly, the other hand on your rib cage. Doesn't matter which hand is where. We're going to take several deep breaths. And as we take a deep breath in, we feel our stomach expand into our hand. And then as we exhale, we feel our stomach go back to neutral. So our objective here is to slow down our breathing and to get it down into our belly. So I will count for the first two breaths, and then I'll just let you breathe at your own pace. So take a deep breath in. Feel your stomach expand into your hands, and then exhale. Your belly goes back to neutral. Again. Inhale. Exhale. I'll let you take a few more breaths at your own pace. And we'll start our warm-up. So we're going to warm up by turning our head to the right, coming back to center, and turning our head left, and back to center. Turning our head to the right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, and center. And we'll roll our shoulders forward, up, back, around, forward, up, back, around, forward, up, back, around, forward, up, back, around. Now, arms are out at our side with our palms up. We're going gracefully up over our head and cross, then down and cross, down and cross, up and cross, down and cross. And one more time with your fullest range of motion, up and cross, down and cross, and relax. So we have our hands in our lap, palms up. We're going to warm up our hands by making a loose fist. Again, no pain, just a loose fist, and then extend your fingers. And curl, extend, curl, extend, curl, extend. Next, we're going to warm up our torso by twisting our torso. We're going to think about that twist starting at our belly button. Our hips are not involved. They stay stationary. So we can do this exercise with our arms folded, or we can do this with our hands on our hips, whichever is the more comfortable. So you're going to turn and twist and looking over your right shoulder, coming back to center, turning, twisting, looking over your left shoulder, and back to center. So your upper body is moving and your head and neck follow. Back to center, again, looking left, center, looking right, center, turning, twisting, looking left, center, once more on each side, right, to the left, and relax. Now we're down to our lower body. We're going to be lifting our knees so our foot is 3 or 4 inches off the floor. Lifting with the right, relax. The left, relax. Right, relax. Left, relax. Right, relax. Left, relax. Right, relax. Left, relax. Now we're down to our ankles. These ankle exercises are so important for your flexibility and very importantly your balance. So doing these exercises daily will help you prevent falls. So we're extending our right leg. We have a soft knee, meaning we have a slight bend in our knee. Bringing the sole of our foot in, out, circle, and reverse. Going over to the left foot, in, out, circle, reverse, right, in, out, circle, reverse, left, in, out, circle, reverse, right, in, out, circle, reverse, left, in, out, circle, reverse. And try to slow these down. This is not an exercise that you want to do quickly. These ankle circles, the more slowly you do them, the more it's going to benefit. We're going to go on and stretch our hamstrings. Hamstring is the large muscle on the upper part of the back of the upper part of your leg. This time we need to move far enough out on our chair so that we have a straight leg. So we have a straight leg, right leg extended, heel is on the floor, toes are up toward the ceiling. We're going to sit nice and erect and just bend forward from our waist, or from our hips. So we want to have a flat back. We might not get out there very far, but you'll find you feel a good stretch on the back of your upper leg. And we'll just stay there for a few moments. Now we'll go to the other side, extending your left leg. Again, this time straight leg. Bending forward from the hips. And feeling a good stretch on the back of your upper leg, the hamstring. Come back to neutral. Now we're going to stretch our calves. So the position is the same in that you extend with the straight leg, but this time rather than bending over, you're going to sit erect and bring your toes back toward your body. And as you bring those right hand toes back toward your body, you'll feel a stretch on the bottom of your lower leg, back of your lower leg. Stay with that for a few moments. Going over to the other side, extending your left leg. Again, bring your toes back towards your body, and you'll feel a good stretch. Now I'm also going to demonstrate a standing calf stretch for those who would prefer to do a standing stretch. Move my chair so you can see me. You'll start by bending your right knee over your right foot, extending your left leg behind you, keeping your upper body nice and erect, putting some weight on that left heel so that you feel a good stretch in your left calf. Now we'll go to the other side, bending our left knee over our left foot, extending our right leg behind us. Again, upper body nice and erect. Put some weight on that right heel so that you feel a good stretch in your right heel. So we should be warmed up now. You may have a seat. Might also have a drink of water. And we'll go on working from our head to our toes. Starting with a chin tuck. We're going to tuck our chin like we have a double chin. So tuck, relax, tuck, relax, tuck, relax, tuck, and relax. And we'll tilt our head to our shoulder, starting by tilting to the right shoulder. At the same time, extend your left arm down beside you, flex your left wrist, and press down with that left hand. So you should feel a nice stretch all the way down, left hand side of your neck, all the way down your left arm. And we'll go to the other side, tilting your head to your left shoulder, pressing down with your right arm, flexing your right wrist, pressing down, and this time feeling a nice stretch all the way down your right neck, right hand side of your neck, and the right hand side of your body. And relax. We're going to shrug our shoulders up, relax, up, relax, up, relax, up, and relax. For our neck, we're going to look up at the ceiling, in this case the sky, and down at the floor. Looking up, and down, looking up, and these next couple exercises are great for your posture. We spend a lot of time hunched over our computers, our phones, maybe working in the kitchen, working at a desk. So this is an opportunity to open up your chest, your upper body. So we're going to place fingertips behind our ears, our elbows are out to the side. If you're able to, bring your elbows into the center, out to the side, 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 and we're going to pinch our shoulder blades, which also really opens up your chest. Just make sure not to hold your breath on this one because it is very easy to hold your breath. So go ahead, pinch, hold, 3, 4, 5, 6, relax, pinch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, relax, pinch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, relax, pinch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. So now we're going to place our hands behind us. So our hands are behind us with our palms behind us. And we're just going to slide them up along our back. And back to neutral. Slide up to neutral. Slide back to neutral. Slide and back to neutral. We have a pat on the back exercise, which also very good for opening up your upper body. We're going to give ourselves a pat on the back with our left hand, and we bring our right hand up. You may be able to touch in the back, but more importantly, you want to keep your head in a neutral position. You want to keep your upper body nice and erect, and just feel a good stretch in this back of your upper left arm. Stay there for a moment. Make sure you're breathing. And now do the same thing on the other side. Patting with your right hand. Bring your left hand up. And you might find that one side feels very differently than the other. Again, head stays neutral, upper body nice and erect. And feel that good stretch on the back of your upper right arm. And come back to neutral. We're going to stretch our inner wrists by extending our arms. Our palms are together. And we're going to keep our palms together and just bring them back to our chest. Extend. Bring them back to your chest. Extend. Back to your chest. Once more, extend. And back to your chest. And this next exercise is a favorite of a lot of people in the class. We have our arms at our sides. Our palms are facing forward. We're lifting from the shoulder, bringing our arm parallel to the ground, bending at the elbow, fingertips come to our shoulders. We lift our elbows, extend straight up, and get a great stretch. And then in reverse, fingertips come back to our shoulders, we lower our elbows, extend our arms, and lower. So we'll pick up the pace a bit. Lift, bend, lift, extend, bend, lower, extend, lower. Lift, bend, lift, extend, bend, lower, extend, lower. And lift, bend, lift, extend, bend, lower, extend, lower, relax. Might want to get a sip of water. Next, we have some hand exercises. So we have our hands in our lap with our palms up. And as we did in the warm-up, we're just going to make a loose curl and then extend our fingers. Again, curl, extend, curl, extend, curl, extend, and relax. We're going to make some circles, round circles, fingertip to fingertip. So very important is just a light touch. We're not going to smash our fingers together. So we start with our index finger, thumb, and then extend. Our middle finger, thumb, extend. Ring finger, thumb, extend. And little finger, thumb, extend. Back to our index finger, extend. Middle finger, extend. Ring finger, extend. Little finger, extend. Index finger, extend. Middle finger, extend. Ring finger, extend. Little finger, extend. And the last time through is our index finger, extend, middle finger, extend, ring finger, extend, little finger, extend, and relax. And we end our hand exercises with our cat's claw. So we're making our claw, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. And claw, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, relax. Claw, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, relax. Claw, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. We're going to end our upper body exercises by bending to one side. So we're going to bend to our right hand side, extending our left arm up over our head. We want to make sure to engage our core muscles as we do this. Now we'll just stay here and take a few breaths. And then bending to our left side, extending our right arm up over our head, and staying in this position for a few breaths, making sure we engage our core muscles and relax as you come back to center. Before we leave our upper body, we're going to bend forward from our hips so we have a straight back, and we're just going to sway from side to side like a rag doll. If you have any tension in your body, maybe your shoulders, your head, your neck, just shake them out, your hands, your arms, wherever you might feel some tension. Shake it out. And then when you're ready, very slowly raise your head back to a neutral position. Again, a good time to get a sip of water. We're going to get started with our lower body by using our hips to walk from the front to the back of our chair. This is a very practical exercise because if ever you find yourself seated in a deep chair and you think, well, how am I going to get out of this chair? The first thing you want to do is use your hips to walk to the front of your chair. So it'll be a lot easier to get out from the front of the chair than further back. So just use your hips, work at your own pace, and walk front to back, front to back. And next time you get to the front, let's stay there and work on our abdominal muscles. So we want to make sure our feet are firmly planted in front of us. We're engaging our core muscles, extending your arms out in front of you, and lean back. You don't want to touch the back of your chair, but you slowly want to lean back and then come forward. Make sure you're tightening your abdominal muscles. Lean back. Make sure you're breathing, coming forward. Again, leaning back, coming forward, leaning back, coming forward, and relax. We're going to march in our chair using opposites, which is a good thing for us to practice. So as we lift our left leg, we're going to lift our right arm, then we're going to lift our right knee as we lift our left arm. So we're alternating. Left leg, right arm, right leg, left arm. Let you work at your own pace, making sure you're working with opposites. Check in with yourself. If you find you are working on the same side, just take a moment, reset, and start working with opposites again. And we're going to do one more each side, and then relax. Next exercise is working our inner thigh. So we're going to lift our right knee, keeping it in a bent position, take it over to the side, and hold it there to the count of 3. Coming back to center and relax, then lifting on the left, taking it over to the left-hand side. Coming back to center and relax. Lifting right, going over to the right, back to center, relax, lifting left, going to the left, center, relax, left and right, going to the right, center, relax, lifting left, going to the left, center, relax. Next, we're going to stretch our hip flexors, and if you spend a lot of time sitting, you might enjoy taking the opportunity to stretch this hip flexor. So, we start by moving over to the right-hand side of our chair. You need to be pretty close to the edge of your chair so that your hips are oriented straight forward. Just sit nice and tall and feel a good opening. Don't be concerned about how far back you extend your leg. Your goal is to make sure your hips are oriented straight forward, sitting nice and tall and feeling a good opening in that flexor. And take your time moving over to the left-hand side of your chair, extending your left leg behind you. Might feel very different than the right side felt. Again, upper body is nice and tall. We just want to feel a good opening in that left hip flexor. Take your time getting back in your chair. We're going to work on flexing our ankles. Again, very important that we keep these small muscles flexible and strong. So we're going to lift our heels, then lift our toes, lift our heels, then our toes, lift our heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, and relax. Inside our shoes, we're going to curl our toes and then extend. Curl, extend, curl, extend, curl, extend, curl, and extend. We're going to go on to do a sit-stand exercise. I'll show you what the full exercise looks like. To stand to the count of 2 and then slowly have a seat to the count of 4. Now, for some people who have knee issues, this may be very painful, repetitive sitting and standing. So I have a couple of options for you. The first one is to do what's called a quad set. As we did before, you'll want to be far enough out in your chair so you can extend your leg with a straight leg, heel on the floor, toes toward the ceiling. We're just going to press down and hold it to the count of 4. You can literally press down with your hand, or you can just contract that muscle. And then you'll go over to the other side and hold that to the count of 4. So that's one option. Another option, if the full sit-stand is uncomfortable for you, you might do what's called a mini squat. And I will stand this way so you can see me. You're going to have your legs about shoulder width apart. They'll be, your feet will be slightly outward at an angle. And you're just going to go down a few inches. And then come back up. And make sure you're breathing. Just lower yourself. Make sure your knees are over your feet, that they're not coming in. And then stand. Again, lower yourself. I want to work toward doing the full seated exercise. I'm going to move my chair so that you can see me. Some stable ground here. So we will do today 2 sets of 8 repetitions for the purpose of this video. If you'd like to do a 3rd set like we do in class, you might want to hit pause or rewind and do a 3rd set. So we have our feet parallel, shoulder width, or our feet actually are slightly turned out, and they are about shoulder width apart. We're going to think of our hips going back as we stand, and then our hips go back as we slowly sit down to the count. And let's pretend that we've got a crate of eggs on our seat. So we want to sit so softly that we do not break any of those eggs. Keep your back flat as you're doing this exercise. Your chest is nice and open. And again, make sure your knees are not coming in. You want them to be over your feet. Seat. Number 5. Slowly out of the seat. Number 6. Again, slowly out of the seat. Those of you who are doing quad sets or mini squats are working at the same pace, the same number of repetitions as those who are doing the full sit stand. And then we'll take a short break. And if my break on this video isn't as long as you need, again, just pause, give yourself a break, and get a drink of water. We'll go for a second set of 8. Now, if you have found this to be painful, have any twinge or anything while you were doing the first set, go on and do some quad sets instead of this second set of sit stands. And this is an exercise that is weight bearing, so I would not suggest you do it every day. This is probably an exercise you'd want to do every other day or 3 times a week. But unlike the stretching exercises, this one is not good to do every day. So we'll do our second set of 8. Go ahead and stand and have a seat. Slowly, 2, 3, 4, making sure not to break any of those eggs. And stand, have a seat, 2, 3, 4. Hips go back. Stand, hips go back as you have a seat. This is number 4. Seat, 2, 3, 4. Number 5. Seat, 2, 3, 4. Number 6. Seat, 2, 3, 4. Number 7. Seat, 2, 3, 4. Last one is number 8. Seat. And relax. So we'll go into our balance exercises. And I do want to remark that this is one time you don't want to do as I'm doing today. You do not want to be out in a grassy, uneven area doing these balance exercises. You want to be on a stable surface so that you feel comfortable that you're not going to fall. I'm now here in the garden because I thought you would enjoy this garden setting, but I realize it's not the place to be for doing a balance exercise. So the first exercise we're going to do, I have my chair at my side, not in back of it, I'm beside it, so I can hold on as I need to. I'm going to have my weight on my left foot with a soft knee, and I'm just going to rock back and forth. So I'm going to go back on my right leg, right foot, and then come forward on my right toe. And rocking back, coming forward. So make sure that as you do this, you feel your weight shift. Now the full expression of this exercise would be a lunge. So you're extending your right leg behind you with both legs bent, and then you're coming forward and lifting that right leg. Back into a lunge, coming forward and lifting. Back into a lunge, coming. And you may find as you continue working on this that you're somewhere in between. Maybe you're just going back a little ways, coming forward, raising your foot off the ground. Going back, raising your foot off the ground. Of course, we want to work the other side. If you are not comfortable lifting your chair like you're watching me do, you might just move to the other side of your chair. So this time, your weight is on your right foot. Again, slight bend in your knee. And you're just going to go back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. Again, when you want more of a challenge, you may eventually go into a lunge. Up and lift, lunge, lift, lunge, and lift. The next balance exercise is moving side to side, so I would like you to be in back of your chair. I am going to move over to the side so that you can see me. You be in back of your chair, touching onto the back of your chair for support as you need it. So I'm standing over here, and I'm going to move to my right, bring my left leg in, move to my left, bringing my right foot in, moving again to the right, to the left, and I am using my core muscles to help me maintain my balance. I'm looking straight ahead out there. I'm not looking down at my feet. Now, as I move to the left, I'm lifting my right foot. As I move to the right, I'm lifting my left foot. As I move to the left, I'm lifting my right. Moving to the right, lifting my left. So I'm always lifting that inner leg. And that is when you feel comfortable enough, you may want to start with just coming to that toe on the ground as you move from side to side. So it's a progression. Start with the most challenging part. Our third balance exercise is going to involve walking. And we're also going to add some sensory challenge to that, which I'll tell you about in a moment. So we're going to start by walking with a pretty narrow stance so that it'll be left, right. Again, do not do this out in a grassy area like I am. You want to be on a stable surface. Right and left. And then in reverse. So back, left, right, left. So try not to look down at your feet. Try to look straight ahead. Now, a more advanced version of this would be to walk with heel to toe. So actually putting your heels in front of your toes, walking forward, then walking backward again, heel to toe. So this is pretty advanced. Make sure you're comfortable with smaller stance before you go to this. Another option, if you are going to the heel to the toe, is to extend your arms out to help you with your balance. I'm looking down as I am on an unstable surface. And finally, we're going to add some head movement to this. So I'm going to start with the wider stance. And as I go forward, step forward with my right leg, I'm actually going to look over to the left. And I'm going to come back to center. I'm going to step forward with my left foot, looking over to the right, coming back to center. Stepping forward with right leg, looking over to the left, back to center. Stepping forward with the left, looking right, and back to center. If you're up for it, go in reverse, stepping back, left, right, back to center, stepping back with the right, left, back to center, stepping back left, right, and back to center. If you only feel comfortable right now walking forward, you don't need to walk back. So that completes our balance exercises, and we'll go on with our strengthening. So you may have a seat. These are all going to be seated. And pick up your hand weights or your water bottles, or you can do this with no weights at all if you prefer. Check in with your posture. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall. Shoulders are down and back. Chest is open. We're going to start with some rows. So we're going to bend forward slightly from our hips with a flat back. Arms are at our side, palms facing in. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together as we lift to the count of 2, lower to the count of 4. Lift to the count of 2, lower to the count of 4. Lift, 2, lower, 3, 4. Lift, 2, lower, 2, 3, 4. Lift, 2, lower, 2, 3, 4, and relax. We're going to work our bicep muscles, which are the front of our upper arm, by holding our arms having our arms at our side, palms are forward. We're going to lift, 2, lower, 2, 3, 4. 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 We'll work our tricep muscle, which is the back of our upper arm, bending forward slightly from our hips. Elbows stay pinned to our side in this exercise. So our elbows are bent, arms are in front of us, and we're just going to kick back. This is also called a kickback exercise. Forward, 2, 3, 4. We're kicking back to the count of 2. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2. Forward, 2, 3, 4. Back, 2. Forward, 2, 3, 4. And once more. Back, 2. Forward, 2, 3, 4. And relax. The last strengthening exercise today is for our shoulders. This is probably the most difficult one. So if working with weights on this exercise is a little bit too difficult, nothing wrong with working with no weights at all. You can still work on your range of motion and your strength. So this time we have our weights or water bottles at our side, our palms are facing down, and we're going to lift. Very important, we don't want to go any higher than shoulders. So check it out in the mirror, perhaps make sure you're no higher than your shoulders. Lower, 2, 3, 4. Lift, 2, lower, 2, 3, 4. Lift, 2, lower, 2, 3, 4. Lift, 2, lower, 2, 3, 4, and relax. And now we'll go on to our meditation. What we're going to do today is progressive muscle relaxation, which means that we're going to go through our body, slowly tensing and then relaxing each muscle. So as you practice this more, you're going to learn the skills that are going to help you to relax. So during this exercise, each muscle group should be tense, but not to the point of strain. So if you have any injuries or pain in any area, you may want to skip that affected area. Pay a special attention to the feeling of releasing tension in each muscle, and then the feeling you feel of relaxation as you do that. So we'll start in a comfortable seated position. You might have your arms either at your side or on your lap, whichever is more comfortable for you. And if you're comfortable, you might close your eyes for this part of the exercise. Begin by taking a deep breath. Notice the feeling of air filling your lungs. Release the breath slowly. Let the tension leave your body. Take in another breath. Again, slowly release the air. Now, even a bit more slowly, take another breath. Fill your lungs. Then slowly release the breath. Imagine the feeling of tension leaving your body. Now we'll move your attention to your feet. Begin to tense your feet by curling your toes and the arch of your foot. Hold on to that tension. Notice what it feels like. And then release the tension in your foot. Notice the new feeling of relaxation. Now begin to focus on your lower leg. Tense the muscles in your calves. You can do that by extending your legs, pressing down on your heels. Hold there tightly. Feel that feeling of tension. And then release the tension from your lower legs. Again, notice the feeling of relaxation. Remember to continue taking deep breaths. Next, tense the muscles of your upper leg and pelvis. You can do this by tightly squeezing your legs together. Make sure you feel tenseness without going to the point of strain. And now release. Feel the tension leave your muscles. Now we'll go on to tense our stomach and chest. You can do this by sucking your stomach in, squeezing hard, holding the tension a little bit longer. And then release the tension. Allow your body to go limp. Notice the feeling of relaxation. Continue taking deep breaths. Breathe in slowly. Notice the air fill your lungs. And then release it slowly. Feel it leaving your lungs. Next, we'll tense the muscles in our back by bringing our shoulders together. Bring your shoulder blades together, hold them tightly, tense them as hard as you can without feeling straining, pain. And then release. Feel the tension slowly leaving your body and the new feeling of relaxation. Notice how different your body feels when you allow it to relax. Tense your arms all the way from your hands to your shoulders. Make a fist and squeeze all the way up your arm. Hold it there. And then release the tension from your arms and shoulders. Notice the feeling of relaxation in your fingers, hands, arms, and shoulders. Notice how your arms feel limp and at ease. Now move up to your neck and head. Tense your face and your neck by distorting the muscles around your eyes and mouth. Release the tension. Again, notice the new feeling of relaxation. Finally, tense your entire body. Tense your feet, your legs, your stomach, your chest, your arms, your head, your neck. Tense harder. And now release. Allow your whole body to go limp. Pay attention to the feeling of relaxation and how different it is from the feeling of tension. So begin to wake up your mind and your body by slowly moving your body. Let's circle our wrists, circle ankles, shake out your arms, shake out your legs, and now you're ready to continue with your day. So thank you so much for being here today.